Hi there, it's Chris from Sally Forth. Thank you for joining me for another one of my painting videos. Today what we're going to be doing is looking at some troop types for the very British Civil War, sort of 1938, the very British Civil War. So if you haven't come across this is a imaginary alternative timeline where the Civil War broke out in 1938 following Edward's affair with Wallis Simpson and all of that kind of abdication crisis, and it leads to the invitation of Oswald Mosley to raise a government, sort of British Union of Fascists, and then it kind of breaks down into a lot of different factions of socialists, communists, anarchists, the Anglican League, sort of different factions in Scotland and that sort of thing. So what we're looking at today is the British Union of Fascists. So these are inspired by what's going on the continent with the Italians and the Germans. So how I'm going to put them together is by using a couple of the box sets from Wargames Atlantic. So I really like their range because they just go together for kit bashing really well. So for British Union of Fascists, what we're doing is we're taking the Italian infantry and we're using the bodies for their sort of uniform, jacket and trousers, quite distinctive, and a few bits and pieces of their webbing equipment, and then we're combining them with this sort of early war, sort of late 30s, early 40s British Expeditionary Force, and we're going to be using their weapons, and we're going to be using their sort of side caps. And then because it is a civil war and there's a lot of scarcity of supplies and that sort of thing, then I'm using a mixture of webbing equipment from both the British and the Italians. There's sort of a mixture of water bottles and sort of equipment rolls and that sort of thing. So I will show you my step-by-step painting guide of how I've put these together, and we'll do a spin video and show you how it's all come together. These are the 10 figures that I painted for the article, making up a section. So we've got a kneeling section commander, so probably a full corporal. We have a soldier with a Bren gun. There'll be another guy who is walking with a slung rifle, which I'm going to be using as a number 2 on the Bren. And then we have 7 riflemen in different poses. So I like the way they've come together. I particularly like the hodgepodge sort of mix of British and Italian equipment on the kind of sort of webbing that sort of really gives it that Civil War improvised look. hope you found that video useful and maybe sort of something that you can use in your own hobby activities. If you found it useful, please hit the like and the subscribe button. It really helps and so makes it worthwhile sort of doing these videos. If you've got any questions, I always try to answer them, so just leave me your comments. And if you've got something you'd like me to cover in a future video, then I'm always open to suggestions.